Okay, doctorarjaybe here. And today it's another lecture on fitness. Uh, in particular, I want to discuss the best exercises to do, what you should definitely include in your fitness program. Um, these are called compound exercises, by the way. The compound exercises are exercises that train a whole bunch of muscles at the same time, as opposed to, let's just say, I pick up a barbell and I do an arm curl. Really, the only thing that I'm training is my bicep, pretty much. There's really not much else involved in here. So this is basically kind of a solo exercise that I'm doing on my bicep. Um, and, the thing is that there's not much else involved here. I'm seating, so my legs are not involved. Um, my elbow is kind of resting on my lap. So there's really not much involved except for my bicep. But there are some exercises that train almost every muscle in the body. The three that are really important, I think, are the squat, the deadlift, and either the bench press or overhead press. Now, personally, I prefer the overhead press. I never did the bench until recently, and for me, the bench is basically a exercise mostly for the chest and tricep muscles. I don't consider it a total body workout. I know that some people consider it that. Um, I just don't personally feel that way. But the overhead press, I definitely know is working all the muscles in my body. And I'll kind of have to kind of show you what I mean. So we're going to start out with these weights, and I'll discuss other kind of exercises you also consider. I have to move the camera back, by the way. Okay, so I mentioned the three exercises. Let me just kind of quickly show those. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do this with the barbell because I already did a barbell workout this morning. So I'm going to put the weights on my shoulders here, and I'm going to do the squat first. So coming down and coming back up, coming down, coming back up. So definitely your legs, obviously, your thigh muscles especially, got a little bit of the butt muscles working. Um, because you got the weights above your waist, you got some of the waist muscles working. Your arms are holding the weight, so the arm muscles are working, your shoulder muscles are working. A lot of muscles involved here. Okay, now the next one is called the deadlift. So using the dumbbells again, I'm going to go down and come back up. That's called the remaining deadlift, by the way. If you want to do the regular deadlift, you put the weights on the floor, use your legs to drive and pull up. Okay, so again, a lot of leg muscles involved. The hamstrings and the glutes are the most important muscles of this one because your body is basically hinging backwards to pull the weight up. And the muscles that hinge our back are the hamstrings and the glutes. So those especially, but also because you're holding onto the weight, your arm muscles are involved, chest and back muscles are involved. So a lot of muscles in the same thing. Now, the last one I mentioned, overhead press. So for this one, you got the weights here and you're pushing upwards with your arm. Now, the thing about this is you could fall forwards, you could fall backwards. The only thing that's preventing you are the core muscles of your around your waist, preventing you from going backwards and forwards. And I can tell you that this can happen because I did fall doing this one time. Balance is really important with the overhead press. You don't have to balance with a bench press. Bench press, you push out, your back is on the bench, you ain't going nowhere. Um, the only possibility is that your arms may not be able to push, and you may have to either drop the weight or put it back on the rack. So there's very little risk that you're going to fall when you're laying on a bench. But standing up with the weights overhead, I can tell you, you definitely can fall because I did it. Okay, so what if you say, I don't want to have to use dumbbells, I don't want to have to use barbells? Well, what about body weight exercises? So, you can get on the floor and you can do your push-ups. Okay, so those are going to get your shoulder. And really the push-up is not very much different from the bench press or the overhead press. Of course, you can do your sit-ups. Everybody loves their sit-ups with that. Um, Also, because you want to work on the legs, what you can do is basically a bridge. You put your feet on the floor, you put your shoulders or head on the floor, and you basically drive with your legs to lift your body up off the floor. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see me on the ground here. I'm going to lower the camera. We'll see what we can do. Okay. Okay. So from here, basically you drive your body up using your legs. And this is kind of like a replacement for the deadlift because you're using kind of the same muscles, your butt and your hamstrings, to push and drive your body up into the air. You can also have your hands on the floor instead of your head or shoulders, and you'll even have more force. And you also use your muscles to work with that. You can also, oh gosh, let me get off the floor here, do a body weight squat. So coming down, coming back up, using your body weight to do your squat. Again, instead of using weights, you just use your body for the weight. Also a good idea for body weight workout. And one nice thing is about body weight is you can do it anywhere. Let me change the camera. Okay, so um, there's some exercise you can do, both body weight and um, uh, uh, dumbbell or barbell. The push-up replaces the overhead press or bench. The um, leg bridge replaces the deadlift, and the body weight squat replaces the weight squat. Um, so those can replace those, and you can do those different repetitions for those in body weight, or you can use weights and do the weighted squat, deadlift, and overhead press. But these will basically work on all the muscles of the body. And by doing that, you are kind of taking care of everything at once. And then you can always add on other exercises for your own enjoyment. So if you want to do those bicep exercises like I showed you, the curl, no problem. But you want to hit the big three so that you're at least taking care of all the muscles of the body. All right, take care.